here to talk about? Okay, give me a second, y'all. Trying to figure out. So I'm here to talk about All In Weekend and NXT, WWE, all that. I didn't watch the Great American Bash, but I know NXT had some shows going on. It was just a lot of wrestling to consume, but I watched AEW. Mainly, I watched for AEW, and mainly I watched for WWE. Um, Evolution was great. Um, the direction of where they're going, I feel, is a little rushed because with Jade Cargill winning and then Naomi cashing in, getting the world championship. In a 5-star classic, that was that match, and then for the screw job to happen, now it's gonna be a triple threat match. I feel like how everything is going, it just feels like it kind of feels like Naomi. It just feels like she's being backed into a corner. Like this is just gonna be like it's like the Sasha Banks treatment. They only give you the title for as long as they let you keep it, type thing. I hope this is not one of those things because she had the WWE Women's Championship for longer, but this is the World Championship. It's a different era, so I can't really say otherwise. But and other than that, suggested that leads me to Jade Cargill, and her getting the championship shot at Tiffany Stratton. I don't want Tiffany Stratton to be the one to beat her, but at the same time, this is rushed. So it's like they booked themselves into a very bad spot in a very bad corner. It's very much fucked up. Like it's the way how they're going about it. It's just like, what are they doing? The way of how everything is and the way how everything's set up. Like I watched Raw on Monday. Um, I know that and Rhea and Io, they're gonna get a shot at Naomi at SummerSlam. That's what we know. Other things going on, I guess Roxanne and Dominic are getting closer. I guess CM Punk. I know CM Punk is going to SummerSlam. I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think because didn't CM Punk win? It was really slipping my mind, but we're gonna get into this review. We're gonna get into this review, or you know, all right. Let's see what this is about. All right, let's see what the news got for us, bro. Cause I don't know. Let's just see how it is. See how it is. Goldberg shares disappointment with Saturday Night Main Event retirement match. Okay, this is what I really want to talk about. AEW sets up trios match for Fallout All In from Dynamite. Okay, this is the first thing I see. This is Wrestling News Inc. Um, WrestlingInc.com. He said, okay, let's see. Now, okay, we just got a whole lot of just tabloids and okay, I'm trying to figure out specifically what they did for All In. Trying to figure out specifically what they did for All In AEW. On internal reaction, the morale. Okay, there's the start. I don't know. I don't know if this right here is a start, but if I could like pull it up on my screen here. If I could pull it up on my screen here. Pull it up on my screen. Yeah, here we go.
Wrestlers report eternal. This right here. This right here. Wrestlers report on eternal reaction to all in backstage morale. Okay. That and a little bit of that. That's what I'm looking at, y'all. That's what I'm looking at. So that's what I'm looking at right now. So I'm just gonna read it real quick. The legacy of AEW All In will surely be its main event, where Hangman Adam Page toppled Jon Moxley to win his second AEW World Championship and to end Moxley's reign. But while this may be a feel-good moment for the year, the show is overflowing with several memorable moments over the course of their 7-hour time run. Among the most notable, Toni Storm retaining the Women's World Championship over Mercedes Moné, Kazuchika Okada winning the AEW Unified title, Casino Gauntlet winners MJF and Athena, 56-year-old Dustin Rhodes becoming TNT champion after an emotional Adam Cole was forced to vacate due to injury. What comes next for AEW? No one can say for sure, at least until AEW Dynamite hits the airwaves tomorrow to kick off the residency, the promotion in Chicago. But at least as far as the morale goes backstage, Dave Meltzer revealed on Tuesday's Wrestling Observer Radio that the locker room is, to the shock of absolutely no one, really happy with the direction of the promotion right now. I heard from some of the guys they're very happy with the show, very, very happy, very morale. Meltzer said, I think that this was the night, honestly, where I think the stench from almost 2 years ago is gone. That has been the cloud, that has been the hovering over their head. They know things were going down. They know things have been going up this year. And then this one being such a big success, I think that the feeling is that it's turned around and it certainly peaked for a big show. What do I think about this? What do I think about that? Honestly, I just think honestly it's just the tabloids talking. I think that was back to Meltzer. Okay, that was going for Meltzer. Honestly, from my experience, what feeling honestly was restored? I just feel like that was just a whole load. I mean, not a load of bullshit, but it was just a review. It was just a reviewing of like how things are going, I guess. But honestly, from my perspective, I feel like that's just tabloid talk. Going forward is what I really want to talk about. Like, going forward, I feel like because of what was stated, if this feeling is really back, or if it's for certain it's turned around, according to your words, honestly, I have no words. It's just like honestly, I kind of watch Dynamite all the time, and I can tell you, like, even like what they're building up to now, what they've built up to this peak. Honestly, these people, the wrestlers, they all have a long way to go. Like, it's still evident that AEW had their peak show, or their what's this? It's their third All In. Yeah, this is their third All In event, right? This is their third All In event.
because this is their third All In event, and it peaked so well. It didn't have to be that long though. That's the one thing I will say. It did not have to be too dang long. That show was just too long. Like 7 hours. 7 hours. I mean, the show was too long, but if I'm really being honest here, if we're talking about a turnaround, what they could really turn around is the time management. What AEW can turn around is not just their time management, but also, like, you gotta learn how to really coerce and smooth, and like you gotta think of every single project that y'all do as a Rock, and you gotta take it and you gotta smooth it. You gotta take it and you gotta smooth it, and you gotta caress it into like a very smooth, like, mineral until like it's a gem, and that's what you have to do. But they're not doing that because they don't. I feel like a lot of them probably do understand wrestling 101, but they view wrestling 101 as boring and ahead or outdated. But it's very important to go over stuff like that. You know, that's what I feel. Well, hey, what do I know? What do I know? What do I know? You know, it's just like it's like things are very. I don't really know the landscape of AEW. We don't know really where we go from here. Honestly, I didn't really to be honest, I didn't really think it would go the way it did. Like, I really thought it would go different. Like, I thought Jon Moxley was gonna win. Remember, like, it was gonna go downhill, but they listened, and we got to the point where we wanted. Now that Hangman's championship, now that Hangman is the champion, now that we have a resolve, now that we have a resolve, I feel that what else we can do what we can do, or what we as the IWC, or we as the people in the IWC can do, is voice our opinions, voice our thoughts about how to make wrestling better. I personally feel that if you really care about wrestling, if you actually want to see a better product, you can get on this social media and just voice your opinion to see what they wanted to do better. I mean, after all, we're gonna pay for their events, right? So it's only right by our end if we get up and we just say, hey, voice our opinion, and hey, let's see what we can do. That's the only thing we can do. That's the point of this IWC, right? But what we can do from here, I think what we need to do is run Hangman versus Swerve. We need to run Hangman versus Swerve at All Out, and that's where it needs to culminate. So I think that's the next step for Swerve versus Hangman, because now that we got the resolve that we did, now that Hangman is the champion, I personally now think that's the way to go, and that's the way that they're about to go. It's going to be Hangman versus Swerve. It's going to be Hangman versus Swerve. And Hangman is probably, I think Swerve's going to turn on, I think either Swerve's going to do a heel turn or something's going to happen along the way. Because now that the Death Riders are gone, now they can go back to reformation of how things are supposed to be ran in AEW, I guess. I don't know. But long story short, the way how AEW is going, they need to desperately reform. And that's why I want to talk about. That's why I really want to get up on here, go live. Let me see, I'm only 15 minutes in. This is why I wanted to go live, because, I just feel like, what happened, right? What happened going into this is AEW. I feel like what happened going into All In was they were anticipating that Moxley was either going to retain or drop, and then and then I'm not sure if it was either at the last minute or this was always the plan, because I feel like what they were originally going for is for Darby to win, but they figured out it was just ludicrous doing it because he's not going to do it. But he came back at All In, So they just said, you know what, we have to switch up these plans or else we know that we're screwed. Because, I've said in the past, if AEW doesn't fix what they're doing, they're screwed. And I said that, and, people are saying that, everyone's saying in IWC, I'm just like, yeah, what should we do? I feel that what should happen next is, now that Hangman is champion, now we can really craft the summer of AEW. Because All In, I feel like, even though All In is honestly like something like All In should be the end of the summer, competing with SummerSlam. Even though All In was at the time it was, I'm actually glad that All In actually had the time to breathe and be its own thing. Now, can SummerSlam be better than All In? I mean, yes, it was too long, but SummerSlam, can it be better than All In? I think that's a very easy question because it's WWE. Because not only, because I kind of figured this out, not only WWE probably is like, you know what, we're thinking, you know what, how dare they start a how dare they have their WrestleMania and we have stuff lined up on that same week. Oh wait, no, we just did that. We just threw it in there to kind of block their week because they're competition. Oh wait, they're not competition. They are competition. They're not competition. They are competition. Shut the heck up. It's bickering. It's bickering and bitter war. It's bickering and bitter war. That's all this is. It's bickering and bitter war. And now, like it took WWE. It took WWE 3 events to seriously like not just focus on what they're doing, but also like to do the competition thing. And they know that company they knew AEW was literally gonna have their own little week. They had that shit planned since last year. And WWE counteracted, and this is all business. But here's the thing. Here's the thing I want to hit home. What are they gonna do for SummerSlam? Because I'm about to look on my phone, right? I'm about to look on my phone, and I'm live, so this is like what I can do. My program's live. Her name is me. Just gotta look on real quick, but I want to hit this home real quick. I just want to hit this home, cause yeah, what is AEW gonna do for SummerSlam? I just want to hit that home, so I just want to go on my phone real quick, and I just want to see what's going on. So gotta think. AEW All Out 2025. Okay, alright, I'm gonna look up on my phone, right? What's going on here. Toronto, for the first time ever, AEW All Elite Wrestling brings you on the baseball All Out days, September 20th. Okay. So All Out is September 20th. Damn. All Out is September 20th, y'all. So I'm gonna look up SummerSlam right now. Right. I'm gonna look up SummerSlam right now. Right. Okay, Sunday, August 3rd. August 2nd and August 3rd. It's a 2-nighter. My question is, what are they gonna do? What are they gonna do to counteract SummerSlam weekend? I honestly, I'm just saying, because if I was Tony Khan, right? If I'm Tony Khan, I would be like, you know what, y'all? Because you guys actively tried to put on 3 shows to block out what I was doing, our biggest show, I should be petty and just say, you know what? Let's run a show. Let's run our own 2-night show. Watch. I bet you, if they really are like that, if AEW says, you know what? we're gonna run a 2 night show. We're gonna run a 2 night show on the same damn days, August 2nd and August 3rd. And AEW is just doing that just 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 to be petty. But I'm probably reaching. It's not gonna happen because AEW is respectful. They don't really. I don't know. It's like I don't want to say they don't clap back, but at the same time, it's like they should do something. Like, cause like it's like we WWE let you knew they was petty 2 years ago going in when All In like first came back, and then WWE lets you on. Then they pull this, and then it's like, oh, they're not competition, but it's like, bruh, we know they're competition. But I guess I guess everyone was like AEW is dead. I was like AEW is dead. I said it. This company will fail. But now we have a sense. I feel like now we have a sense of direction of where to go, and I feel like AEW can right now redo the reset button on their entire company. They have to do a reset button on their entire company. Paige is champion. Probably get Swerve and Will Ospreay into the mix. Have competitors. You build up the women's division. I feel like honestly, if y'all can't do at least like a 2 night event to counteract SummerSlam, y'all should probably focus on the women's division and then make them have their own show. Like, that should really be something. Like, you should make them have their own show. Like, it should be on Friday, right? Right, you could do it on Friday at I don't know 7 o'clock or something. It's only like an hour. Or Friday at 6 o'clock or something. Like you put it on, something like y'all gotta do something, like something. Y'all gotta do something because like it's just like I want to see the women's wrestling. Like I feel like for women's wrestling in AEW, this should be their evolution year. This should really be their evolution year. Like they should really establish who is the dominant supreme. Like they should. This is what they should do. They should go through their entire roster. Matter of fact, I'm gonna show you what I'm talking about. I'm gonna show y'all what I'm talking about, right? Right. I'm gonna show y'all what I'm talking about, right? So, AEW women's roster, right? Yep. Right. We're gonna go on my phone. We're gonna see Okada, Mercedes, Continental. Okay. They didn't update anything yet. I'm just trying to. Okay. Okay. Okay, what's this? Okay, AEW Women's Wrestler. Okay, I can't get that, but dang. With all the women that they have on their roster, they need to literally go on their roster and do an update of everything of all the women, like a fresh update of all the women they have on their roster, all the women's wrestlers on their rosters, right? You need to literally start establishing stars immediately coming out of All In. You need to expand. You need to not just expand, but you need to go back into the abyss and reunite the flame. Go back into the abyss and reunite the flame. That's what they have to do. And if they don't do that, then I don't know what we're doing. But we can literally get back on track. Like AEW All In was a success. It was a success, and we can literally get right back on the ball here. This is very much time to get right back on the ball. That's why I'm stressing. AEW needs to focus on their women's division, time management. Yes, time management. Their tag team division. They need to establish they need to establish the women's division and make that a core division for AEW. They really need to focus on them. They need to focus on the tag division. They need to focus on making the unified championship the secondary world title, so it opens up So it opens up more opportunity for everyone else. You can make the unified championship a very, very prestigious title. The belt looks nice. You can make it look a little better. You can make it a little better, but it's a first belt, and it's on Kazuchika Okada. This guy, and for anyone who doesn't know Kazuchika Okada, let me speak about something, bro. I come from the generation of wrestling where I grew up on the Attitude Era. I grew up in the Ruthless Aggression era. I grew up watching Batista, Rey Mysterio, John Cena, Edge, all that, Rey Mysterio, all that. Those were my childhood. As I grew up, I seen this era, and I was fortunate enough to be one of the very much people to watch independent wrestling, Ring of Honor, PWG, all that. I was very fortunate to watch that when I was a kid. When I was a teenager, all that. And now as an older man, I'm saying this for a fact. Kazuchika Okada is one of the GOATs outside of WWE. And see, that's what nobody talks about. Nobody likes to talk about how there's literal wrestling GOATs outside of WWE. And that's what really pisses me off. Like, there's literal wrestling GOATs outside of WWE. And yes, just because you didn't go to WWE, just because you didn't go to WWE, okay? Just because you didn't go to WWE, you gotta remember, before WWE, before WCW, it was NWA. It was NWA. Let's be real. Because we can all be real. It was the territory days. Before WWF, before all that. It was a whole lot. There's a whole lot you don't know. So honestly, this whole entire, I just don't want to speak on it too much because it's just let me chill. Anyway, what pisses me off about people is there's really this mentality that you need WWE to become one of the GOATs. I've seen in my generation a bunch of ragtag jobbers or quote unquote jobbers become literally one of the most iconic wrestling factions. Period. Merchandise, influence. These motherfuckers basically damn near monopolized the indies. And yes, we don't like what the elites and how the elite and everything and all of them has become, because now they're separate entities. But before AEW, when it was the elite, when it was Cody, when it was Matt and Nick, when it was Hangman, when it was all of them, you can and AJ Styles, and Finn Balor, Prince Devitt. If it wasn't Gorillas of Destiny, Tonga Loa, these motherfuckers ruled the fucking world of wrestling 10 years ago. Adam Cole, who I fucking met. I feel terrible what's going on with this man. It's terrible, bruh. I met bro. It was 2019, and it was literally the day before he won the NXT World Championship. It was literally the day before he won the NXT Championship against Johnny Gargano. I two tweeted him. I was wearing my glasses and the Be a Star shirt. It was already signed. I got all his signatures. I think I'm fucking y'all think I'm fucking playing. Y'all I'm about to get a little emotional right now. Hold on. You know what? I got the shirt. I got the shirt somewhere. I got the shirt somewhere. Next video, next live, I'll probably be up on here with the shirt.
and I'll tell a little story time. But it's up in my closet somewhere. But it's bagged up. All that, all that. I'm not playing, bro. I got a whole story about that, bro. I met Adam Cole, bro. Bro was fucking dope. It hurts, bro. It fucking hurt. It hurt, bro. And guess what? He said it. Listen, when it comes down to that, I get it. 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 Your health is nothing to play with, man. You gotta take a moment for you, bro. I get it, bro. So, all prayers go to that man, bro. All prayers go to that man, bro. I met that man, bro. It was him. It was Bianca. It was Alicia Taylor, the announcer lady. I met Alicia Taylor, yup. It was her, Tyler Breeze, Matt Riddle, all of them. It was at the Be a Star program. So I got in because I have autism, right? I have autism, right? So I got in, right? And I was in a program, and I got in, and I was just like, dang! I met the wrestlers. I met Johnny Gargano too. He let me hold the belt. Boy, let me hold the belt. Bro, let me hold the belt. It was lit. He let me hold the belt. It was lit. I got the pic. Like, I had the pictures, bro. I had the pictures. I lost the pictures, but it's it's on Twitter somewhere. Like me with Adam Cole. Me with Adam Cole, bro. It was me with Adam Cole. It's a picture with me with Adam Cole. I took that fucking pic, bro. I took that pic with me and Adam Cole, bro. It was with me and Adam Cole, bro. It was me with Adam Cole, bro. I'll show you a picture of everything next time. I'm coming next time prepared, yo. But real, yo. My man Adam Cole had to vacate the title, man. But listen, bro, he will get better. Cause God is good all the time. I say God is good all the time, and He will come through. I met that man, bro. He literally was a real one. Like, he did not do shit to nobody. I was like, bro, like, I met him, Matt Riddle, and I was like, yeah. And he called me, bro, and I was like, yeah. Calls everybody, bro. He broed me, man. Man, that was shit. My generation of wrestling was crazy. Yo, y'all can't tell me. I'm really part of the generation of wrestling, bro. Like, I'm really a part of the generation of wrestling that grew up and really saw this, bro. I'm serious, bro. I really saw this wrestling shit. Man, I got no viewers. I got no viewers. A smooth shooting. Shut up. Anyway, but yeah, like, I saw the review, man. My whole thing is, like, I just want to see the success of All In, man. I just want, like back when Cody, like when all that was happening, like, that was my generation of wrestling, bro. Like, I got a little off track, but, like, to bring it back to Kazuchika Okada, right? Right? This man, like, when I first saw New Japan, right, I saw Tanahashi versus Nakamura. The entrance when Nakamura came out with the dancers and he was moonwalking, doing the Michael Jackson phrases, all that. It's my sister's all-time favorite, greatest all-time favorite entrance ever. She put that on, and she like, yo, like she was like, nobody do it like Shinsuke, and I was like, yeah. Until there ain't nobody like shit. Y'all want Shinsuke? Yo, did Shinsuke get with? Oh wait, where my? I just want to see if Shinsuke got. I slipping my mind, y'all. It's just like, so much has happened this week. I can't even fathom a lot of the stuff that happened in my head because I'm just like, yo. Shinsuke Nakamura released. Is he released? Has not been released by WWE.
Oh, oh, so he's not released, y'all. According to WWE, I thought he got released. I thought he was gonna then, but no, like Kazuchika Okada, right? This man, when he had his match, right, with Omega, and I saw all of them. I saw all of them, right? When I first saw them in high school, I was like, man, right? When I first saw that match, right, I was like, okay, it's New Japan. And then when they went to work, I was like, oh my gosh, like, bro, they like Kenny Omega especially, and I started like looking up Kenny Omega matches. Like, the first time I heard about Kenny Omega, honestly, was when he came out with Bullet Club. Right, it was like 2015. It was 2015, 2016, right? And and then that's when the match with what was it with the match with Okada? But he was in Bullet Club. I just saw him like in Bullet Club clips, and I was like, yo, this dude's lit. Like, not clips, but like I saw like Bullet Club. I would watch Bullet Club videos, right, back when they used to be on YouTube, because I remember. But anyway, long story short. Long story short, I saw Okada versus Omega, and I said, "Yo, this is one of the greatest matches." Like, I literally witnessed one of the greatest match series, and this was in their prime. I remember I know the difference between Omega Okada and the prime, and I know it versus after. Like I can go back to All In and watch the match that they did this year at All In, and then look at what they did the first three times. The first three matches, the fourth match was like okay, but like the first three matches, like I'm talking about in terms of like how much in their prime they were. That's what I'm talking about. Like, if we really want to talk about how much in their prime they were, the first three matches, the four matches, the last match was like, okay, this is like them at their final form. But for the rawness of like of how much in their prime the both of them were in at that time, that was a work of art. Like all three of those matches, like there's no debate. Like the senseless V triggers, like even in the fifth match, the one that will happen this year, Okada winning. Okay, I understand Okada winning. I understand that most certainly. I understand that Okada had to win, but now that he is the first unified champion, I feel like what they should do is call it the AEW Undisputed Championship, right? Or we could just keep it as the Unified Championship, whatever you want to do. I don't know if you guys want to call it the Unified Heavyweight Championship. Something. You guys gotta call it, like the AEW, like y'all gotta call it something. I'm just saying, but I feel like what y'all should do is really establish that belt that Kazuchika Okada, has. He should really establish himself. And you should really put like very much contenders, like this is a belt I feel that should make the wrestler, or the belt should mean you are one of the top guys. You are the top guy too. Like you were the world champion, and then there's the unified champion, and those are the two main world champions. And then you got, because there's so many titles in AEW. Like, I feel like that's another thing they need to do. You need to start putting a lot of these titles to use and differentiating what they are and what they mean. And you can start with the Unified Championship, because we need to know, is this going to be a secondary world championship? Y'all need to confirm that. Y'all need to say this is a secondary world championship. It's treated as a secondary world championship. And this is the title. Like, that's what y'all need to do. Like AEW needs to hire me, man. They need to hire me, man. I'll be up in there, man. I'll be saying, no, man. Unified champion, that's the secondary world champion. The AEW world champion, that's the champ. and then the secondary is the unified world champ, and then you create another, and then you guys can probably create an intercontinental champion, or look in your many championships already, and then say, you know what, we're gonna start. Y'all just gotta start making, and that's another thing y'all just have to start doing. Y'all have to start making use. Y'all have to start making use of y'all company. Y'all really do. Like WWE, I can't really complain about them because, you know, they usually have things so tight knit. They have things in a system, and that system cannot be breached. That's literally WWE. Their system cannot be breached, and if it is, there's hell to pay. All types of hell to pay. They let you know that shit. They will be cool with you until you fuck with their shit. And then next thing you know, they're all over your dick. And then it's over. WWE, 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 right? Like, I can't really say much about WWE because, you know, there's already established. Like going into WrestleMania with, going into SummerSlam with Tiffany Stratton, Jade, and, you know, Naomi. That's something that they can do. But another thing that they can do is, like, you know, there's the Intercontinental. I think there's the Intercontinental Championship going on for grabs. I think who else is? Wait. I'm trying to think. Is Jay? Is Jay Uso? I'm trying to think. Who's going to SummerSlam? I gotta look. I think CM Punk is going to SummerSlam. Whole lot. Like, a whole lot of things. I just feel like with I'm talking more about AEW because these guys need to grow. They need to grow. And, you know, you guys, if you guys have new fans like you say you do, you guys really need to expand on your company. You guys really need to, like, differentiate what is, like, you really need to start working on making Ring of Honor a developmental. You need to hire, Tony, you need to hire an entire team specifically for Ring of Honor, committed to Ring of Honor, making sure all of that flows and all of that has time. What you also need to do is probably take Ring of Honor, put it on a unscripted TVMA live service. That's what you need to start doing. You need to start putting HBO Max to good use. Because you have the HBO Max deal, right? So you can put Ring of Honor on HBO Max. That's what you need to do. Put Ring of Honor on HBO Max. If you already do, you already do. But if you already do that, this is what else you need to do. Make Ring of Honor the more uncensored play child. You need to make it as think of it as a playground, but not like you know, on the jungle gym. No, I'm talking about like a creative room. You know what I'm saying? Tony, like you take it and he's like, you know what can I do with this jungle, like, not with this jungle, but, you know, what can I do in this space to get all my creative functions out instead of just like being so plain. You don't have to be plain, because you're trying to do everything on a pro wrestling tip and trying to establish it as pro wrestling. What you need to do is establish superstars. You can, like, that's the thing about AEW, you guys, like, you have a bad time at making superstars or making new superstars, and it's just they're pro wrestlers, and it's just like, dude, AEW can be so much more. You have so much star power. These wrestlers have personality. Stop trying to make them just wrestlers. This is not working. Like, with Athena, you could make her a star. You could make her the female like the women's equivalent to Swerve. She can be the women's equivalent to Swerve. She really can. It's really right there. Not trying to put it on her, but Athena can be what Swerve is for the men's division, for the women's division. You have it right in your face. And it's just so draining that they can be so just distant. Well, not indistant, just distant. Just distant from the whole entire path that everybody else is seeing, but they can't see it. like Jack Perry. What y'all should do, what y'all should do is y'all should make him cause you made Jack Perry unredeemable, right? You made Jack, you kind of made Jack, like, I don't know what Jack Perry's doing, man. Like I know he's gonna come back, but like, dude, what are we doing? What are we doing? Like, what are we doing? Like, Jack Perry, what are we doing? Like, I feel like what needs to also happen. I feel like what also needs to happen is like Jack Perry, right? What they should do with him. What they should do with him is, I see where you're going, but then it's like you should make him betray the Bucks, and then once he betrayed, like, not betray the Bucks, but like, how can we make this man cool? Because it's like, I see the vision with him, but it's like there's something else in the way. Like, he didn't put in the work. Like, I'm not saying he didn't put in the work enough, but it's like, what did y'all really do to put him in the position to make him like get over? Like it's like what did y'all do to make him get over? That's what I really want to ask. What did y'all do to make this man get over? And it's not just to, bash Jack Perry. I'm just saying, like, what are we gonna do when he come back? And because a lot of them are coming back, because I'm just saying, like, what's a lot of the problem is, like, and here's another thing that I think you guys don't understand. The reason why we're asking for you to do more character development and more stories is because number one reason. Do number one stories, right? Do stories, right? Do more storylines. Do more character development for the wrestlers, because number one, you're gonna have way less injuries. Because I'm not saying you're gonna have like less injuries, but the more likely of somebody getting injured, like, because that's why I feel like you know what I miss about 1990s wrestling? They would actually get a moment going. They know how to literally like put a moment in, and know how to let story progress. Like that's very much missed. Like, our generation of wrestling, like, we had that. Like, like we like New Japan, like, they just dominated. Like, mind you, they never seen that before. Like, that was the whole thing. And Bullet Club would have been done. Like, yeah, but you see, here's the thing nobody takes into consideration about Bullet Club. Yes, it was never done in Japan. Yes, it was all. Yes, it's already a stupid thing. But yo, the very image, iconic. The name, iconic. The very essence of what they did in all forms and variations of what they did. Legendary. You can't argue, you can't dispute. Because if it wasn't for Bullet Club and then later the Elite, we would never have the magnitude of wrestling. Like, wrestling would not be what it is. And that's just the end all be all of that conversation. Without the formation of Bullet Club, and without what they did, and I get it, in WWE, it just, okay, yes, in WWE, let's be honest, if Bullet Club existed in WWE, I think it just would have been the Shield, plus as many fucking members coming in. That's literally what it would have looked like to me. It would have looked like, you know what, this is just the Shield, but just like 100 more people, or adding another new member every week. I don't know, trying to make it like NWO, etc. But like, the reason why Bullet Club worked is not just because of the name and the image or who the heck you get. Like, Bullet Club is irreplaceable because there's a literal, like, when they started the group, right? When New Japan started the group, they said, listen, we just want Gaijins, we just want a Gaijin stable over here, and it's never been done before, they're not new to that, and then they did it. But because it was in Japan, and because of, not just because it was in Japan, but not just because it was just like New Japan, like, and it was never just done before. It was just the fact of what they were doing, like the level of how they were taking it, because it was Japan, even though it would look like something that, oh, we would do in America, but it was it was taken to another level, because you gotta understand, like, when I first saw Bullet Club, right, it was in Ring of Honor. It was in Ring of Honor, right? It was when AJ Styles, Young Bucks, Gallows, Anderson, they all came out, right? Right, and then Demigods was playing in the background, right, going crazy. And that's when I first saw them all together, and then that's when Bullet Club came out. I was like, oh, that's AJ Styles. I was like, because I knew who AJ Styles was. I was like, hey, AJ Styles, oh shit, AJ Styles is here. And then I was like, yeah, so that's how it is. So long story short, they come out, right, and you could just feel that even though this is like a small indie event, they all commanded that respect. And mind you, this is not WWE, and you gotta understand, the layers of Bullet Club is different. Like, you gotta understand, they didn't just come into just Japan. They came to America, like when they came, like when they started coming, like when Bullet Club started, to come on American soil, all that stuff, and it was like, what we were seeing was legendary, because it's like, this is not simply because this is not WWE. That's what was the whole art. That's what was the whole thing. They're not WWE. They're not WWE. They can do literally what they can set out to do. It's crazy. Like, it was a whole lot. And then, what made Bullet Club bigger, what made Bullet Club bigger is literally the whole journey. It's not just, oh, if they started, like, it's not that. What started as just another gaijin stable in Japan, became so influential, because it was like they were taking, it was like all of them, like, taking their, like we can even go back to the members, right? If we go by specifically the members and the eras, like, these were the guys that were never supposed to, like, see the WWE or see, or like, and this is literally going off of what everybody thought, when Bullet Club, I bet you when Bullet Club first started and all that, they were probably like, these were the guys you never see in the fucking E. Literally, they were the guys you will never see in the E. And then when Cody Rhodes came, that's when everybody jumped on. AJ Styles was there, and people were like, oh yeah, Bullet Club. It was a whole lot, but we all know that it was Matt, it was Nick, it was really Matt and Nick. Like, not Matt and Nick. Well, honestly, Matt and Nick just took over. That's just really what it was. It was really Fergal, Prince Devitt, Finn Balor. It was Finn. It was Prince Devitt. It was Balor, man. And then it was Fale. It was Fale. It was all that. It was Fale. And then Tama Tonga came. Like, it's just the way how they literally formatted. It was like I don't want to say it like this, but fuck it, I'm gonna say it anyway. Like, it was literally like a vine. It was literally like a vine, a root that was growing, and that root was poisonous to the ground, and it made the ground. it was supposed to make the ground poisonous, but instead it winded up enriching the land. It winded up enriching the land. And when it enriched the land, it brought prosperity to said land. It brought immunity to said land. It brought a sense of pride to this land. And then eventually when this goes on for, let's say, 10, 20 years, because Bullet Club and all versions of the Elite and etc., these guys, etc., right? All of this, right? It all would lead to what we have now. That's what's going on. That's what's going on in this world. Like, that's what's going on with pro wrestling. But you know, that's how I kind of see everything. It's just like, dang, like what's going on? But you know, I like AEW. You know, like I like what it's about. I like what it's going through. But you know, everything what I just said. You know, things are hopefully gonna get better. But you know, that's my little take. Yeah. So I'm gonna come back on here. I'm gonna make another video.